So the legend of Pania was that Pania was of the sea people, and she was a beautiful maiden out on the sea out off Harueri. And she fell in love with a man called Karatoki, and they secretly got married. And the situation was that she had to return to the sea during the day. So Karatoki used to boast that he'd secretly married this beautiful woman called Pania. And the rest of the village said, yeah, right, Karatoki, you know, sure you have, sure you have. So he was very perplexed about this, so he talked to a kaumātua, and he said, if she swallows some food, she won't be able to return to the sea. So one night when she was sleeping, Karatoki put some food in her mouth, but a moorpork, watching what was happening, let out a shriek. And Pania awoke and immediately swam back to the sea, where the sea people grabbed her and transformed her as part of the reef, which is beyond the port. Now Karatoki was obviously heartbroken, and she'd had a son, Mōmō, and they are the guardians of her in the reef today, and that often takes the form of a shark or an octopus or a stingray.
So when did it's the 70th anniversary of the statue?
Yes, it is. It is. So 1954 it was unveiled by the Prime Minister, Sydney Holland, and May Robin, who's now May Whaitiri, she was the model. She posed in 1951 at Hawke College. She was chosen by members of the 30,000 Club, who paid for the statue, which you can see behind me of Pania. And she's had a bit of a rough life. In 1982 someone decided to take a shotgun to her and blow the feather off and put a bullet in her head, and that was restored by the Napier City Council Park staff. And then, to much national outrage, let alone Napier, in 2005 she was stolen on the 27th of October and later recovered in November. And May Robin, who was the model, tells me the story that the police rang her when Pania was recovered. Pania was in the police yard, and she went and hugged Pania because she was now at ground level rather than on the plinth, and had a tear in her eye, and she says she believed Pania had a tear in her eye as well to be reconciled with her.
Brilliant. So why do you think this myth, this legend and the statue resonate so much with Napier?
Yeah, well, the 30,000 Club, they wanted some Māori representation along the Marine Parade. They thought it was a bit Pākehā, European orientated, and when they'd heard this myth or the legend told by Frederick Augustus Bennett, who was the Bishop of Aotearoa, they thought, we need to reflect this legend, especially as the reef is off the coast here, and it just captures people's attention. And Pania, as May will point out, was an actual person, and there is a whakapapa going back, you know, hundreds and hundreds of years actually to her. So she was actually a real person, not a myth. She did exist.
Yeah. So what do you think the next 70 years looks like for Pania?
I don't know. I know Napier City Council will look after her, and the people of Napier love her, as do the people of New Zealand. And I was here with May a few weeks ago to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the statue being unveiled, and there was a couple of tourists here, and I said, you picked the right day to come and visit Pania, because here's the actual model. And they looked at Pania and they looked at May, and I said, well, it was 70 years ago. And so they were absolutely thrilled, and they'd heard about this statue, so they wanted photos with her, and it just captures people's imagination, and it's a beautiful love story as well.